minasan, konnichiwa, Jamu desu, and welcome to Hikari Online Class. For today's lesson ay pag-aaralan natin ang lesson 8 ng ating grammar discussions. Are you ready? Dewa hajimemashou. Okay, so our first topic in this lesson is about adjectives. Okay, so adjectives are used as predicates or noun modifiers. So in Japanese, they inflect and they're divided into two groups. Okay, so may dalawang uri ng adjectives in Japanese. First is the e-adjective and the na-adjective. Okay, so first let's discuss about e-adjectives. So e-adjectives are the adjectives that ends with e sound. Okay, or with katagana e. Okay. So, ito yung mga adjective na may e sa hulihan. For example, the word big. Okay? Big in Japanese is oki. Oki. Okay? Next, small. Small in Japanese is chisai. Chisai. Okay, next, new. Atarashi. Atarashi. Next, old. Furui. Furui. Hot or mainit. Okay? Mainit sa pakiramdam. Okay? Atsui. Atsui. Next, cold. Okay? Malamig. Samui. Samui. And last, for the example is good. Okay, so there's two ways to say good. Could be e or yoi. Okay, both of them are in an e adjective. Okay, so you could choose between e or yoi. Okay, so that is the e adjective. So most or all of these adjectives ends with e vowel. Okay, next up is the other kind of adjective, which is the na-adjectives. Okay, so these are the adjectives that doesn't end with e except the two in the last part. Okay, so but before that, let's start from the first example, the word handsome. Okay, handsome. Tagalog, guwapo. In Japanese, it is hansamu na. Hansamu. Okay, hansamu or hansamu na. Next, quiet. Tahimik. Shizuka. Shizuka or shizuka na. Okay, next, lively. Okay, lively in Japanese is nigiyaka. Nigiyaka. Okay, nigiyaka na. Next, kind. Mabait. In Japanese, shinsetsu. Shinsetsu. Okay? Next, convenient. Okay? Convenient in Japanese is benri. Benri. Okay? Benri na. Okay, next up is the two special in na-adjectives. So as you can see, these two words end with I, okay, or E sound, but this is considered as special na-adjective. This is the word beautiful or clean. In Japanese, it is kirei, okay, kirei, kirei na. And the other one is famous. Read as you may, you may. Okay, so be careful with this special na adjective. Okay, so now you already know the two kinds of adjectives. So let's do it, or let's use it in a sentence. So in our sentence pattern, you can make it just like, as you can remember in our lesson 1, the noun 1, what noun 2 des. Okay? So instead of having or using noun 2, we just replace it by using the adjective as the modifier or as a predicate to our noun 1. Okay? So this would be noun 1 na-adjective des or noun 1 e-adjective des. Okay? So let's have an example. Okay? So next is, so the des at the end of an adjective sentence shows that the speaker polite attitude toward the listener. Des is used when a sentence is non-past and affirmative. So, pareho lang siya ng function ng N1 wa and 2 des. So, the des there is just the same even if you use it in the adjective. Okay? Just like here. So, a na-adjective without na comes before des. Just like our example here. Okay, so gagawa tayo ng example. For example, gagamitin natin yung word na shinsetsu, mabait. Example that your teacher's name is Wato. Okay? So, here it is. Wato sensei wa shinsetsu desu. Wato sensei wa shinsetsu desu. Okay? So, as you can see, hindi nilalagay si na sa ganitong sentence pattern. Okay? Just the shinsetsu. Okay? Again, Wato sensei wa shinsetsu desu. Si Wato sensei ay mabait. Okay? So, that is how you gonna put the na. Okay? The same with an e-adjective. With e at the end comes before des. Okay, so katulad lang siya ni e, wala kang idadagdag, wala ka ding tatanggalin. Okay, let's have an example using the word takay. Okay, takay means mataas. Okay, so sasabihin natin, Mount Fuji is high or Mount Fuji is tall. Okay, mataas yung Mount Fuji. In Japanese, you will say, okay, ang noun natin dito ay Mount Fuji. So, Fuji-san wa takai desu. Okay? Fuji-san wa takai desu. As you notice, Fuji-san instead of Mount Fuji. Well, actually, Japanese called Mount Fuji as Fuji-san. Let's read again the example. Fuji-san wa takai desu. Okay, so just focus in the e-adjective here. Walang tinanggal, walang dinagdag. Okay? Binalagay lang siya as a predicate or a modifier to our noun, which is the Mount Fuji. Okay? Next up is the na-adjective ja arimasen. Kung naaalala nyo, si ja arimasen is the negative form of des. Okay? It's the same with the na-adjective. So you just omit the na and you add ja arimasen. Okay? You just omit the na and add ja arimasen. So that would be na-adjective ja arimasen. Okay? So that means na hindi siya ganong adjective. Okay? Or, in a politer way, so you can use dewa. Okay? Dewa. Na adjective, ja arimasen. Or in a politer way, you can use na adjective, dewa arimasen. Okay? Okay, so here's an example. We will gonna use the word shizuka. Na means quiet. Okay? So, you omit the na, you add ja arimasen to make it a negative. So, for example, sasabihin mo, hindi tahimik doon. Okay? It's not quiet over there. Okay? In Japanese, asoko wa shizuka ja arimasen. Okay? Next, another example is benri. Okay, benri na or means convenient. Okay, So you omit the na, you add ja arimasen. For example, you are here in this situation, lagi na lang sira ang iyong computer. So personal computer in Japanese, pasokon. Okay? Sasabihin mo, hindi ito convenient. It is not convenient. Okay? This computer is not convenient. So you will say, kono pasokon wa benri ja arimasen. Again, kono pasokon wa benri ja arimasen. Okay? This computer is not convenient. Okay? Ganun po ang ibig sabihin niya. Okay. Next is the other adjective, which is the e-adjective. Okay? So, paano naman kung gagawin nating negative si e-adjective? Okay, e-adjective has different way on making the sentence negative. So, the negative form of e-adjective, this is, you omit the I and you add kunai des. Okay? You omit the I and then you add kunai des. Okay, so that means e-adjective, kunai des. Okay, nakuha ba? Although si des, nagre-represent siya ng negative of affirmative, but in the case in e-adjective, ginagamit siya to make the sentence polite. Okay, ginagamit siya kasi si kunai na yung negative dito. Okay? So that means you omit the last part of the e, add kunai des. Let's have an example. Here is samuy means cold, malamig. So you omit the I, you add kunai. So that would mean samu kunai des. Okay, sasabihin mo. Okay, so try. Okay, paano kung sasabihin mong hindi malamig doon? Hindi malamig doon. It is not cold there. In Japanese is asoko wa samu kunai desu. Asoko wa samu kunai desu. Okay? It is not cold over there. So as you can see, des. Okay, may des siya to make it polite. Okay, for casual, you can just say, asoko wa samu kunai. Samu kunai o, samu kunai daw. Okay? But since ginagamit si des, so this is the polite way in e-adjective, in a negative form. Okay? Okay, another example is the word atarashi. Atarashi means new. So, let's omit I and add kunai des. Okay? So, let's try sasabihin natin, itong pasok ko na to ay hindi bago. Itong computer na to ay hindi bago. Kono pasokon wa atarashi kunai des. Okay? Omit the I, add kunai des. So, that would be atarashi kunai des. Okay? Kono pasokon wa atarashi kunai desu. Itong computer na to ay hindi bago. This computer is not new. Okay? So, ganun lang po gawin si e-adjective in a negative form. Klaro ba? So, I hope it's clear and easy for you. Here's some basic Japanese conjugation na ginagamit natin. Okay? So, in adjective. Okay? So, as you can know, present, future, and past. So, present, future, positive, you use des. Okay? For noun, you can use noun des. Or, in verb, you can use verb must. So, in na-adjective, you can use adjective, na-adjective des. Or e-adjective des. Okay? But in negative, you just have noun ja arimasen. The same with the na-adjective. it is ja arimasen. And in a verb, it is verb masen. But in I adjective or in E adjective, you need to omit I and add kunai des. Okay? Again, E adjective, you need to omit I, tanggalin mo si I, at idagdag mo yung kunai des. Okay? Next, another example of conjugation in our past tense. Okay? It could be past positive or past negative. Okay? In noun, we will gonna use in a past positive noun deshta. Well, it will be the same with the na-adjective. We will gonna use na-adjective deshta. Okay? But in a e-adjective, it will change into you need to omit I and you add kata des. Okay? Again, in a past positive, in the I adjective, you need to omit the I or the E and you need to add kata des. Okay? Omit the I plus kata des to make the E adjective in a past positive. And in a verb, it is verb mashta. Okay? Now, let's proceed to past negative. So, as you can remember, negative is, okay, noun negative, noun ja arimasen, you just make it a past, make it deshta. So, that would be noun ja arimasen deshta. Okay? Just the same with the na-adjective. Okay? Na-adjective, ja arimasen deshta. Okay? But in the e-adjective, remember, again, you need to omit I. You need to add kunai. And you omit the I again and you add kata des. So that would be the adjective plus kunakata des. Okay, again, negative past in E adjective is you need to omit I and add kunakata des. Okay, and the last is a verb is verb masen deshta. Verb masen deshta. Okay? Okay, so I hope that is a clear of conjugation. Just imagine or just notice that noun and na-adjective has the same conjugation. And verb is just the same. Verb mas, masen, mashta, masen, deshta. Okay? But you need to memorize the e-adjective conjugation. It may be a little bit tricky for you, but as you memorize the pattern, it will become easy. Okay? So just remember, you need to omit I in the I adjective and you add kunai to make it negative. Okay? And you add kata to make it past positive. Okay? So that is the rules in conjugation in noun, adjectives, and verbs. Okay, so I hope you got it clearly. Okay, next up is, okay, the questions using adjective sentence are made in the same way as those using noun or verb sentence. So kapareho lang siya pag nagtatanong ka ng, for example, kung anong klaseng tao siya, which is assembled by an adjective. Okay? So, katulad lang siya ng verb at saka noun. In answering a question, you just repeat the adjective used in the question. So, i-repeat mo lang yung adjective na ginamit sa pagtatanong. So, des or soja arimasen cannot be used. So, since kailangan mo siyang ulitin, so des and soja arimasen ay pwedeng isagot pag tinatanong ka. Okay? For example, Nihon wa samui desu ka? Nihon wa samui desu ka? Okay. Malamig ba sa Japan? Say, Hai, samui desu. Hai, samui desu. Okay? Oo, malamig. Okay? Again? Okay, let's have a role play. You will be the boy, okay? Nihon wa samui desu ka? Okay, how about you will be the girl this time? Go. Hai, samui desu. Okay, so ganun lang siya gamitin. It is answerable by yes or no, then i-repeat mo lang kung anong adjective yung tinatanong niya. Okay? Kung yes. But if it's a negative, so you will just, okay. If it's a negative, for example, tinatanong niya, Philippine mo, samui desu ka? Is it also cold in the Philippines? Malamig din ba sa Pilipinas? Iye, hindi. Samukunai desu. Hindi malamig. Okay? No, hindi malamig. No, it's not cold. Okay, again. Philippine mo, samui desu ka? Iye, samukunai desu. Okay? Kuha ba kung paano gamitin si negative? You omit I and change and add kunai desu. Okay? So that makes samukunai desu. Okay? Next up is na-adjective and noun. Okay? Na-adjective and noun. And e-adjective and noun. So, an adjective is put before a noun to modify it. Okay? Pag minomodify na ni adjective kung anong klase si noun. Okay? For example, Nihon wa kirei na kuni desu. Okay? Kung dinidescribe na ni adjective kung anong klase si noun, so sasabihin mo, ang Japan ay isang malinis na bansa. Okay? Malinis na bansa. So that would be means Japan is our topic. So that would Nihon wa kirei na kuni desu. Okay, dito mo na gagamitin si na. Pag kadugtong or kasunod niya na si noun. Okay? If the na-adjective is next to a noun, you put the na. Okay, again. Nihon wa kirei na kuni desu. Ang Nihon ay isang malinis or magandang bansa. Okay, another example. Sasabihin mo naman, i-describe mo na ang Pilipinas ay mainit na bansa. So you will say, your topic is Philippines. Philippine wa atsui kuni desu. Philippine wa atsui kuni desu. Remember, atsui is hot. Mainit. Okay? So as you can see, atsui, walang dinagdag, wala ding kinuha. Okay? Philippine wa atsui kuni desu. Okay? Kung ano lang yung word ni e-adjective, pag itinabi siya kay noun, ganun pa rin. Walang ibabawas, walang ilalagdag. We will gonna use the famous, okay? Famous is you may. So, as you remember, you may is a na-special adjective. Sabihin mo na Nike is one of the famous brand. Okay? Sikat ang Nike na brand. So you will say, Nike wa yumei na brand desu. My brand is brand. Again, Nike wa yume na burandu desu. Okay? Okay, sasabihin mo naman na about Davao. Okay, so for example, I will introduce my country. Okay, pagtatanong ang Japanese, or may magtatanong sa akin, anong klaseng city, or anong klaseng lugar ka nakatira, or saan ka nakatira, anong klaseng lugar ito. Okay? Okay, so I will represent my city. Okay. So I will say, Davao wa okinachi desu. Soshite benri desu. Okay? Davao wa okinachi desu. Soshite benri desu. Soshite is and benri is convenient. Okay? So, dyan mo gagamitin si adjective. Okay ba? So, I hope it is clear to the difference how to use the na, how to use the e-adjective. Okay? Next up is totemo and amari. Okay? Totemo and amari are adverbs of degree. Okay? Both come before the adjectives, they are modified. So, adverbs of degree siya. Kung gaano si adverb. Okay? So, totemo is there used in affirmative sentence and means very. Okay, totemo means very, sobra. Amari is used as negative sentence and a negative form means not very. Okay, so amari is in negative sentence, totemo is negative sentence. Okay, so when we use totemo, naka-affirmative din yung mga adjective at saka yung des natin. But when we use amari, naka-negative si adjective or naka-negative din si verb. Okay? For example, sasabihin mo, di lang mainit, kundi sobrang init ngayon. Okay? Or today. Today is very hot day. You will say, Kyo wa totemo atsui desu ne. Okay, kyo wa totemo atsui desu ne. Napakainit naman ngayong araw. Diba? Okay, how about this one? Sasabihin mo, kumain ka ng ramen sa Hokkaido. Sasabihin mo, sobrang sarap ng ramen sa Hokkaido. Okay? So you will gonna say, Hokkaido no ramen wa totemo oishii desu. Very delicious. Soshite totemo yumei desu. Very popular or very famous. Okay? Again, Hokkaido no ramen wa totemo oishii desu. Soshite totemo yumei desu. Okay? Hokkaido's ramen is very delicious and very popular or very famous. Okay? So that is how you gonna use totemo. Okay? How about the amari? Sasabihin mo amari, not very. Okay? Not very delicious or not so delicious. Okay, let's try another example. Just by looking at her face, alam mo nang hindi masarap yung kinakain niyang isda. So, paano mo sasabihin na itong isdang na to ay hindi gaanong masarap? Okay? Not so delicious. This fish is not so delicious. So, you will say, this fish, kono sakana wa amari. Okay? Not so or not very. Not so delicious. Amari uwishi kunai desu. Okay, again. Kono sakana wa amari uwishi kunai desu. Okay, as you can see, uwishi kunai desu. So, it's in negative. When you use amari, always the next adjective or even the next verb will be in negative form. Okay? So again, let's read that example. Kono sakana wa amari uwishi kunai desu. Okay? Next, another example. Next up is, okay, based on example, the car. Sasabihin mo, hindi naman to gaanong mahal. Okay? Or it's not so expensive. So you will gonna say, okay, this car is not so expensive. Kono kuruma wa amari takakunai desu. Okay? Amari takakunai desu. Expensive is also said as takai. Okay? So to make it not so expensive, we will use amari takakunai desu. Okay, so to make it a sentence, this car is not so expensive, in Japanese, kono kuruma wa amari takakunai desu. Okay? Another adverb of the degree is zen. Okay, zen. Zen is also an adverb of degree and used in negative sentences. Okay? Zen and a negative form means not at all. Okay? That means 0% of degree siya. Okay? Zen. Walang-wala talaga. Not at all. For example, you will gonna say, kono sakana wa zenzen oishiku nai desu. Okay? Kono sakana wa zenzen oishiku nai desu. Okay, sasabihin mo, hindi talaga to masarap. Okay, hindi talaga to masarap kahit konti. Okay, amari is just a degree nga. Parang 25% or 50% hindi masyadong masarap. But zenzen is hindi talaga masarap. Okay? So, napaka-negative ni zenzen and always used as, just like the amari, the adjective or the verb that precedes it is always negative. Okay? Yung kasunod niya na word is always negative. Then, pag gagamitin mo si zenzen. Okay? So, amari is just a mild of degree na hindi, but zenzen is not at all. Hindi talaga. Okay? Next up is another sentence pattern. This is noun wa do desu ka? Okay? This question is used to ask an impression or an opinion about a thing, place, or a person, etc. that the listener has experienced, visited, or met. Okay? So, nangungumusta ka? Kay noun ang ibig sabihin ng sentence pattern nito. Ano naman? For example, here, tatanungin mo yung kaibigan mo, musta naman ang lifestyle mo dyan sa Japan? Nihon no seikatsu wa do desu ka? Nihon no seikatsu wa do desu ka? Nihon no seikatsu wa tanoshii desu. Nihon no seikatsu wa tanoshii desu. Tanoshii is enjoyable. Enjoy. Okay? So, sasabihin mo, or sasagot mo na, nag-enjoy naman ang buhay ko dito sa Japan. Okay? So, that is how you gonna answer the question. Again, Nihon no seikatsu wa do desu ka? Kumusta ang buhay mo dyan sa Japan? Nihon no seikatsu wa tanoshii desu. Masaya ang buhay sa Japan. Okay? So, as you can see, do ay, okay, do placement is just, you just gonna, okay, do placement is just replace with the answer as an adjective kung ano yung isasagot mo. So, the sentence pattern itself is just the same, yung sagot mo lang yung nabago and the ka-character there. Okay? So, next, another example is itatanong mo naman sa kaibigan mo kung paano or kumusta ang pag-aaral ng Nihongo. Okay? Kumusta yung pag-aaral na ng Japanese? So, we say, Nihongo no benkyou wa do desu ka? Kumusta naman ang pag-aaral mo ng Japanese language? B. Totemo muzokashi desu. Muzokashi is hard or mahirap. Okay, totemo is very, very hard. So, you will gonna answer, totemo muzokashi desu. Sobrang hirap. Okay, again. Nihongo no benkyou wa dou desu ka? Totemo muzukashii desu. Okay, how about let's try it having a role play. I will be A and you will be B. Okay? Nihongo no benkyou wa dou desu ka? Okay, how about let's switch role? 3, 2, 1, go! Totemo muzukashii desu. Okay, so ganun mo lang, gagamitin si totemo. So, remember, do desu ka is just changed from your answer. Totemo muzukashii desu. Okay, pwede mo nang hindi sabihin ulit si topic. Okay? Pwede mo lang pwede mo lang isagot, totemo muzukashii desu. Or pwede naman in a complete sentence na nihongo no benkyou wa totemo muzukashii desu. Okay? But if in a casual way, pwede lang totemo muzukashii desu. Okay ba? Okay, next is noun 1 wa donna noun 2 desu. Okay? Noun 1 wa donna noun 2 desu. So when the speaker wants the listener to describe or explain anyone, this question pattern is used and to denote the category anyone belongs to. So the interrogative donna is always followed by a noun. Okay? So anong klase? What kind of noun is the noun 1? Okay, ganun siya. So, what kind of noun? Si noun 1. Ang sentence pattern na to. For example, Philippine wa donna kuni desu ka? Philippine wa donna kuni desu ka? Anong klaseng bansa? Okay, ang noun here is kuni, bansa. Donna kuni. Anong klaseng bansa ang Pilipinas? What kind of country is the Philippines? So you will gonna answer Philippine wa atsui kuni desu. Ang Pilipinas ay isang mainit na bansa. Philippine wa atsui kuni desu. Philippines is a hot country. Okay? So that is how you gonna make or how you gonna use this question pattern. Okay? Again, Philippine wa donna kuni desu ka? Philippine wa atsui kuni desu. Okay, now let's have a role play for this. I will be the girl and you will be the boy. Okay? Philippine wa donna kuni desu ka? Okay, how about let's switch role. You will be the one to ask. 3, 2, 1, go. Philippine wa atsui kuni desu. Okay, so ganun lang. Okay. Next example is, paano naman pagtatanungin mo kung anong klaseng tao siya, okay? Anong klaseng, okay, tatanungin mo yung kaibigan mo kung anong klase namang tao si Pedro or si Mark, okay? So let's have the Mark instead. Okay. Mako-sang, so si Mako-sang yung topic, so siya gagawin mo, Mako-sang wa donna hito desu ka? Since, anong klaseng tao? So tao in Japanese is hito. Okay, what kind of a person is Mark? Mako-sang wa donna hito desu ka? Then sasabihin mo, Mako-sang wa shinsetsu na hito desu. Okay? Mako-sang wa shinsetsu na hito desu. Si Mako ay isang mabait na tao. So remember, shinsetsu is next to a noun. Kaya kailangan mo siyang lagyan ng na. Shinsetsu na hito desu. Okay? So let's have a role play for this. Mako-san wa donna hito desu ka? Mako-san wa. Okay, so let's have a role play for this. Okay, me first. Mako-san wa donna hito desu ka? Okay, good job. How about let's switch role? You will be the one to ask. Go. Mako-san wa shinsetsu na hito desu. Okay, so remember donna hito. What kind of a person? And you will gonna answer, he is a kind person. Okay? So, ganun lang po yun. Next sentence pattern is sentence 1, ga, sentence 2. So, ga is a conjunctive particle meaning but. It is used to link sentences. Okay? So, ginagamit si ga means but. In Tagalog, pero. Okay? So, pinagdudugtong niya ang dalawang sentences. For ihihin mo, in your first sentence here, you will gonna say, konokuruma wa nakakunay desu. Okay? Hindi naman ganun kamahal itong sasakyan na to, pero konokuruma wa amari nakakunay desu. Ga steki desu. Okay? Steki desu. Pero maganda siya. Okay, so teki means wonderful, lovely, great, fantastic. Okay, ganun siya ini-express. Okay, teki, maganda, wonderful, lovely, fantastic. Okay, it could be one of those meaning. So you will say, hindi naman siya gaanong kamahalan, pero napakaganda niya or maganda siya. Konokuruma wa amari takakunay desu ga suteki desu. Okay? Remember, ginawa natin or ga means but. Okay? Okay, remember that ga here means but. This car is not so expensive, but it's fantastic. Okay? Another example. Kono sakana wa takai desu ga amari uishiku nai desu. Okay, as I said, takai is also means expensive. So, kono sakana wa takai desu, our first sentence. This fish is expensive, but amari uishiku nai desu. It's not so delicious. Okay? Again, this fish is expensive, but it's not so delicious. Kono sakana wa takai desu ga amari uishiku nai desu. So, that's it for our example. Okay? Okay, nakuha ba si sentence 1? Ga. Sentence 2? Okay, so that I hope you understand it clearly. This interrogative is used to ask the listener to choose or designate one from more than two things concretely shown or named. Okay? So this is simply means in English, which. In Tagalog, saan. Okay? Saan. Not saan dyan, saan dun, saan dito. Okay? So which bag or which name do you want? So you may choices ka kung saan yung pipiliin mo. For example, okay, so for example, pinakapakuha ni Mark yung bag niya sa'yo. So hindi mo alam kung saan sa dalawa. So itatanong mo sa kanya kung saan yung bag ni Mark. Okay, which bag is kay Mark. So, sasabihin mo, Mako-san no kaban wa dore desu ka? And he will answer, kore desu. This one, kono aoi kaban desu. Okay? This blue bag. Aoi is blue, kaban is bag. So, this blue bag. Okay? So, ganyan lang. So, pwede mo lang sabihin, if malapit sa'yo or malapit sa kanya, pwede na lang sabihin, koredes. Pwede niya hawakan yon or ituro. But, to be specific, pwede niya ding i-describe kung saang bag dyan. Kono, that, blue bag. Kono, aoi, kaban, this. Okay? So, ganun mo lang siya gamitin. So, pwede mong gamitin si kore, pwede mo din gamitin si kono na to be specific of what kind or to describe the bag that you are looking for. Okay ba? So, that's the end for our lesson. I hope you learned a lot for today, minasang, and keep practicing and keep reviewing. See you again next time. Gambate kodasai. Goodbye!